Alright guys, welcome back to another Bleach Brave Souls video. Today we're going to be taking a look at 5 banners that I think Klab should actually consider bringing back. Now we're going to be taking a trip down memory lane because these banners are probably not going to come back. And some of these might actually surprise you, so make sure to stick around till the end. Now, without further ado, let's get into the first one. First up, we're going to be going over the Future Society banner. Now there were 3 characters that released on this banner, which were Ukiura, Noitora, and as well as Orihime, as you can see over here. This banner actually dropped on April 30th of last year, so it is not really a old banner by any means. The premise of this banner is basically the Bleach universe is in this futuristic city, and all these different characters, instead of having their regular powers and things like that, they actually are associated with technology and all this futuristic junk. So as you can see, we're going to be taking a look at Ukiura in specific. There's actually a lot of canon in terms of their characters. So this character here, Ukiura, is actually a special investigator in the Future Society. And yeah guys, as you can see here, there's a whole bunch of actual lore to this society. So they could actually expand it even further and give us some other characters, like maybe a Ukiura with some sort of technological bow, or we can have a Ichigo with a robotic mask or something. Or I mean, there is so many characters in the Bleach lineup, and they only use 3 characters, let alone not even the main cast of the characters except for Orihime, of course. But they did make this a really good start, but unfortunately they just didn't do anything with it, because I mean, we only have 3 characters, and this is actually way down the line, because this was released like more than a year ago, and it seems like there's been no signs of Klab actually renewing or bringing back this banner. Because honestly, the animations of these characters are still very good. The whole technological aspect of it, with all the technology and the circuits and everything, the soul bombs look amazing, and it's just a shame that we're not gonna see any more of this. Now before we get into the second one, I just wanted to say, if you happen to enjoy the video, please make sure to leave a like, comment down below, and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Your feedback really keeps me motivated into making this more specific or uncommon Bleach Brave Souls content. If you really like these sort of back in the day nostalgic videos or things like that, please make sure to let me know with that feedback. I would greatly appreciate it. Let's continue. Up next, we're going to be taking a look at one of the oldest banners in the entire game, and that's going to be the White Day banner. Now, if you don't know what White Day is, essentially is a celebration whereby instead of the girls getting the gifts, which is Valentine's Day, on White Day, the guys get the gifts. So it's essentially a Valentine's Day, but for boys. Now, Valentine's Day takes place in February, and White Day takes place in March. And that is why this banner actually released on the 9th of March of 2016. That is 9 years ago. That is a very long time ago. And volume 1 was consistent of 3 characters, which were Toshiro, Shuhei, and as well as Kenpachi. Now there's nothing really much special that's driving me on this opinion, but I just really want this banner to come back purely because of nostalgia. Now there are actually 3 volumes to this banner, right, to the White Day characters. So there are actually 9 characters in the entire game that are White Day characters. And fun fact, all of them are dudes, because, you know, White Day is Valentine's Day, but for boys, right? So there's volume 1, which is Toshiro, Kenpachi, and Shuhei. Volume 2 is going to be Grimmjow, Gin, and Aizen. And then finally, volume 3 is Stark, Tsukishima, and Kisuke. Volume 2 actually released on the 14th of March 2016, so not long after volume 1 dropped. And then the last banner that we did get for White Day was 2 years later, which was on the 10th of March of 2018. So definitely this is somewhat of a really old nostalgic banner in Bleach Brave Souls, and not everybody, especially newer players, will not know the significance and the nostalgic factor of White Day, because this back in the day was one of the most memorable banners and the most noticeable banners which were celebrated back in the day. And unfortunately, it seems like we have moved past White Day, and it doesn't seem like we're going to be getting it anytime soon, because it has been over what, 3 years now since we haven't had the latest White Day. So it's safe to say that White Day is a thing of the past. But if it were to come back, let's say next year in March, because I mean we're already past March, so it wouldn't be able to come back this year. So if it were to come back next year, I'd probably want the classic lineup of Ichigo, Chad, and Uryu. Three characters, three dudes, and yeah, that could be a good way to close off the White Day if you do want to say goodbye to White Day. But I do think that there is still so much untapped potential in White Day because there are a lot of dudes in the Bleach universe, believe it or not. So I think if you want to give it a last shot, I would say release Ichigo, Chad, and as well as Uryu. That might be a good closing off for the White Day banner format. But that's going to be it for the White Day. Definitely a really valuable and very nostalgic banner format for Bleach Brave Souls. And if you were there back in the day, you definitely know what I'm talking about. The next banner format we're going to be going over, it is going to be the attribute summons. Now, this is sort of a gimmicky banner format whereby characters were put into a banner because of their attribute, right? So you could have a heart versus mind sorts of banner format, or you could have a power and mind or anything of the sort. So I just pulled up power and mind just for the sake of the video. So as we can see here, we could have premium characters, right? Because I don't think they'll be doing this with Thousand Year Blood War characters or anything of the sort, or even seasonals. So probably premium banners are going to be what they might experiment this with. So if that is the case, we might see a banner with the 10th anniversary Ichigo, of course. Then we might also see the renewed version of Aizen and also the Byakuya, which is very cool. Then you might also see Ururu in there. If you go down lower, you'll see My Lady Haribel. I mean, there are a lot of characters. As you can see, there Toshiro is also there. If you come down even lower, let's see Mugetsu, Ichigo over there, the Visored Ichigo. So there are a ton of ways that you could actually play this. Now, again, if you want to use your imagination and let's say they actually do it for seasonal characters as well, or they do it for Thousand Year Blood War characters as well, maybe older Thousand Year Blood War characters as well, then by all means, it is possible. But again, this is more so of a gimmicky sort of banner format, just like the Guild Quest banner format, where they just put in a bunch of Guild Quest characters and such like that. But again, this probably will not happen, and that is okay, because I think we've moved past this sort of gimmicky banner format. But I think it might be an interesting way to incentivize players to summon on a banner. Basically, if you need a powerful mind character, then you'd be incentivized to summon on a power versus mind banner, right? Or if you need a heart character and there was a heart versus technique character, then you might as well just go ahead and try luck on the heart versus technique banner, anything of the sort. So many different ways that you could go on about it to incentivize players to summon for characters by their attributes, right? Instead of their killers, their attributes would be what's driving you to summon for them. But anyway, this is sort of a gimmicky sort of banner format. It's not necessarily a banner like the White Day or the Future Society. It's more of a banner format, if you could call it that. Let me know what you think about this banner format. Would you be happy if they brought it back? By all means, do let me know. I think that this is certainly an interesting way to freshen things up instead of just releasing the expected characters we do have. Make something new, make something unique, and do something like this. It'll be very cool to see. Alright, so the next banner we're going to be going over, it is going to be the Tag Team Summons banner. Now, this banner released very early in the game's life, exactly on the 31st of October 2016. So this is a very old banner. But don't let it fool you, because just because it's old doesn't mean it's really cool, because this obviously is the tag team versions of each character. Now, we all know we've got basically all of the tag team characters in the game, but I really want to see a renewed tag team characters, right? Like Ichigo and White, obviously, or Ichigo and Tensa Zangetsu, or we could see Mayuri and Asogi Jizo, right? I mean, there's a lot of things that they could do here. They could update their animations. the soul bombs could be a little bit different. There is certainly a lot of things that you could do with this banner, and especially because the last banner that was released was actually in 2018, August 16th. That was the last banner, the last tag team banner we got, right? August 16th of 2018. That was the last time. So this had a lifespan of 2 years. This was on average, right? Because that's the average amount of years a banner lasts, right? But then again, I really think that it wouldn't be weird or wrong to basically revisit some of these older characters, especially because they were the first characters to introduce the double killer effect. So I think we should just pay homage to them and just, revisit them and renew them. I think it would be really, really cool to update them with new mechanics and new animations and all that good stuff. Because, I mean, they're really, really cool. You basically get 2 characters for the price of 1, and you get 2 sets of animations and whatnot. It doesn't even have to be a switch mechanic. It doesn't even have to be a swap mechanic. It just has to be 1 character. When you do your normal attacks, you just see 2 characters, and strong attacks 2 characters, and then their soul bomb characters as well. Yeah, let me know what you think about tag team characters in general. Do you want to see them come back? Do you want to see them make a return? They're probably never going to come back and probably will never make a return. But I mean, again, it's just really, really cool. This idea of tag team characters, 2 characters in 1, is a really cool idea that I really think Klab should not let die. Let's go on to the last one now. Alright guys, so the last banner we're going to be taking a look at today, it is going to be the Machine Society banner. Now this is also in the same boat as the Future Society, except the Future Society never had a chance. And I will say the Machine Society definitely had more life to it. So basically, the rundown of the story is that basically the Bleach universe, instead of being in the normal universe, they're in a steam-powered universe. As you can see with all the gears and mechanisms and all these very technical stuff here, but not as advanced as the Future Society. Now, the very first banner that the Machine Society actually dropped was on January 31st of 2020. So it was around 5 years ago. So that was the very first banner that released, and it was Retsu, Riruka, and as well as who was it? I keep forgetting the third. I'll have the picture up on screen anyway. But again, this was such a fun place to be, right? I was so invested in this universe or this society. It was really nice and colorful. As you can see here, Retsu just looks so colorful, and her Zanpakuto, right? The Minatsuki is actually a robot, or like some sort of a gear-powered mechanism, and it's just really fascinating to see the creativity of the people at Klab over there, just flexing their creative muscles, right? So there's actually 3 banners that actually released with this, so there were 9 characters in total. Now, the first banner came out on the 31st of January 2020, the second banner, which arrived on March 16th of 2020, and then the last banner that we did see was in January 31st of 2021. That was the last banner that we got for the Machine Society universe, or society, or whatever you want to call it, right? So it has been over 4 years since we've seen any sort of buff or any sort of character. Now, at this point, I do think that the Machine Society is really over. I think it has lived its life, right? So I wouldn't mind if this never came back. I have absolutely no problem with it, because we got 3 banners, 9 characters, and they're all unique in their own way. But for the other banners, such as the Future Society, where they only had 1 lifespan, 1 banner, 3 characters only, I think that was a travesty, right? So I think that this banner, I would love to see other characters in the Machine Society, like obviously Ichigo, Uryu, maybe Orihime even. We even got to see Okiura in the Machine Society, so there is definitely room for improvement and definitely room to explore these certain characters right here. So that's going to be it for the last one, Machine Society. I really think this was a cool one, and yeah, that's going to be it for the banners right here. And that is going to be it for today's video, guys. There are definitely more banners that we can take a look at. There are going to be tons and tons of characters that we can take a look at, but for today at least, that's going to be it. If you want to see more, if you want to see a part 2, definitely let me know by leaving a like on the video, commenting down below, and also subscribing to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. Thank you guys very much for sticking around till the end, and I will see you all in the next one.